Do you know what manus means? It is the Latin word for hand, and China has adopted it as the name for its latest AI agent. The Chinese manus promises to be handy. It can do multiple tasks at once.
While it's feared AI technology could take our jobs, new research shows it's creating new roles across multiple industries. Businesses nationwide are already embracing the innovation to improve efficiency and reduce the workload for some workers.
Last week, online furniture retailer Wayfair announced it would increase its use of generative artificial intelligence and cut 340 tech jobs. And it reflects a troubling increase in businesses and companies opting to cut back human tasks in favor of technology.
If you were born in the early 2000s, there's a good chance that you likely grew up with a liking or interest to robots and AI. More than likely due to the movies around that time that probably had a big impact, such as I, Robot, or even big blockbuster movies like Transformers, which, even though they're technically aliens, we can all kind of sort of probably count them as big robots, let's be honest, right? And if you didn't watch movies when growing up, well, AI has actually been all around us for a long time, most times without you even knowing. AI has become so advanced that we're starting to allow it to solve problems and make decisions for us. College students, I'm talking to you. However, as AI becomes progressively advanced, so does its purpose and ideal vision in the eyes of its creators and society. I believe video games try to shape the perspective of its players to what the application of AI should and shouldn't be, and understanding these perspectives can help shape what AI looks like in the eyes of the world going forward. But before talking any further, I should probably explain what exactly AI is, since I've been throwing it around so loosely, and you guys probably don't really have much of a clue. If you want to think about what AI is, instead of beginning with the acronym, we have to begin with a name: Alan Turing. Turing was a famous mathematician and computer scientist who posed a very simple but powerful question to the biggest brains of his time in 1950. Can machines think? You see, as tiny this question was, at that moment in time, there was no clear answer. This was because the concept of thinking was itself difficult to define, since it's influenced differently among each individual person. And as we all should already know, computers and machines don't just naturally develop emotional and personal aspects when they're created. Despite these odds, though, Turing came up with a method to prove whether a machine could think, called the Turing test. If a machine could pass this test, they'd be given the new label of artificial intelligence, AI. According to medical scholar Michael Cheng-Tek, despite the different definitions, the common understanding of AI is that it is associated with machines and computers to help humankind solve problems and facilitate working processes. In short, it is an intelligence designed by humans, demonstrated by machines. The term AI is used to describe these functions of human-made tool that emulates the cognitive abilities of the natural intelligence of human minds. Essentially, AI is meant to be the buddy you had in class that would always be there, coming in clutch when you have absolutely no clue on how to go about solving a problem or doing an assignment. The overall goal of AI is to be able to mimic human behaviors such as learning, perceiving, predicting, reasoning, and so on. However, one crucial thing to note is just as technology has vastly improved since the 1950s, so has AI. The capabilities of AI have evolved so much to where it's incorporated into our everyday lives without most people even realizing it. Did you know that Apple's Siri and OCRs are examples of AI? You probably didn't, because we use them so much in our daily lives, and they're so easy to use that we don't think twice about just how advanced the tools we're actually using are. Now in 2025, with new discoveries being made about AI almost every week at this point, and the goal we have for AI inching closer and closer to reality, it's important now more than ever that we start considering how we use AI and how it's designed and implemented, because it has such a major impact on our future. Luckily, there are many video games today that showcase the good and bad visions for AI depending on how we as humans choose to use it. Since everyone likes hearing the bad news first, let's start with that. To introduce the bad features caused by AI shown through video games, I'd like to start with Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West. Horizon is an action role-playing game about a character named Aloy as she learns about her past and survives the wilds of a new world created by an AI named Gaia, which was produced in a project thousands of years ago known as Project Zero Dawn. Zero Dawn was a project schemed by a group of scientists to ensure humanity and the Earth would prevail during that time when they were at war with the very same automated machines of mass destruction they created. Gaia was developed to bring the ecology of the Earth from near extinction over thousands of years, and did so using biomachinery, aka the mechanical behemoths you probably encounter throughout your journey within the game. Suddenly, during Aloy's adolescent years, an AI subcomponent of Gaia, known as Hades, sends a message to all machines, causing them to go berserk, becoming extremely hostile to the humans around them. Later in the sequel, Horizon Forbidden West, we learn that this termination call from Hades was actually caused due to another AI known as Nemesis. This AI unit was created by the rich, well-off people of society that decided to explore into space for a new planet, while the Earth was being ravaged by the death machines. They later became known as the Zeniths. Nemesis' purpose was to be a storage space for all life, but after a few malfunctions, it became hostile to the Zeniths, causing it to have one mission alone: eradicate humanity. Once it learned of where the Zeniths were headed after they began fleeing from the rogue AI, Nemesis sent a hostile signal to Earth to awaken Hades and cause the next Armageddon of the machines on humanity. One of the main lessons meant to be taken from the story of Horizon is that we have to watch how we design and implement very complex applications of AI. If we aren't careful about what roles or powers we're giving to a machine, it can be potentially severe to the future and have severe drawbacks on our future survival. The next game I want to discuss for bad futures is Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 is a first-person shooter game set in a world where two factions are at intergalactic war with each other: the IMC and the Frontier Militia. The game's story follows a character named Jack Cooper that takes over his captain's Titan BT-7274 after he's killed in action, and proceeds to continue the mission of uncovering and shutting down whatever schemes the IMC were cooking up on planet Typhon. You're probably wondering, what in the world is a Titan? Titans are basically giant artificially intelligent robots designed for both civil and military applications that can be controlled anytime by a pilot, aka a human. This might not sound as bad until you actually realize these mechanical hulks are geared to the brim with heavy weaponry, whether it be rockets, lasers, swords, or machine guns with bullets the size of a microwave. The main lesson to be taken from Titanfall 2 is how human responsibility in relation to AI and its usage continues to evolve is another key crucial component. This is because although these Titans are geared with weapons, they're only done that way because humans decided to use them for war against each other rather than to help with civil applications like construction or anything else that would better humanity, not destroy it. Alright, after stating the bad, I think it's time we show some good vision this video game show about AI before some of us never use it again. If we go back to Horizon, there's actually a good vision for the future of AI, as well if you look hard enough. That example is with Gaia. The scientists of Project Zero Dawn created her, as I said earlier, to ensure the ecology of Earth survived a mass extinction, and she did exactly that. Although it took a long time due to the sheer amount of damage done during the war between the war machines, Gaia did as she was programmed and was able to bring the Earth back to a relative homeostasis and bring humans, plants, and animals back to its soil, using the very same biomechanical machines you see throughout the game, since that was their original purpose, to take care of the planet. What we can't forget, though, is that Gaia was so successful because of the collection of diverse, brilliant minds that aided in her designing and development. How AI is showcased in this manner within Horizon highlights how important it is to prioritize design and implementation when improving or creating AI, making sure to include zero bias and take our time when improving our applications. Another good future for AI is seen in the game Subnautica. Subnautica is an action-adventure survival game about us, the character, being stranded on an underwater planet. As we explore the planet, searching for ways to escape, you can hear a voice that talks to you. This voice is your PDA, which stands for Personal Digital Assistant. As you're swimming throughout the marine deep, your PDA gives you information about the alien objects, flora and fauna that are around you, helping to educate the character on what they don't know. The PDA even tracks and provides information about the character's oxygen, health, and water levels. Subnautica helps to show that in the future, as AI continues to evolve, we could use it to help understand concepts we might not understand or places we've never been to. AI can be used as an extension of our brain, or as a little helper for when we're stuck on something. Now, if you've gotten this far in the video, I bet you're probably thinking, but these are all fictional concepts. Why? We don't really need to care about any of this, do we? We don't have roguelike AI trying to kill us, giant titans running around, or PDAs that can auto-scan alien objects and always give some sort of answer. Well, while it is true we don't have any of those, we aren't that far off. We already have AI weapons that need little to no human supervision in order to be operated. It's predicted in the next decade or two that due to the competition between countries, that little to no will turn into none. When it comes to giving information like a PDA, although we might not be able to give information about alien objects yet, we still have AI like ChatGPT and Google Gemini that are used by millions daily to figure out problems or aid in finding information. And it will always give you some sort of answer, whether it be right or wrong. What I'm trying to tell you is that the future depicted in these games with their AI applications aren't as far away as we think they are. If we don't want to have roguelike AI trying to eradicate humanity or giant war golems running around, it's best we start getting more responsible and ethical with how we design and implement AI moving forward. And as you just saw, video games can help pivot us onto the right path if we decide to look at how AI is depicted in them closely. I hope you all learned something new today. Thank you for watching.